KTN News. Good morning and welcome to Tech Central with the difference. Today we are out and about and we're in Ngethe, and believe it or not, we're going to be taking a flight from Ngethe. I know you're looking and thinking, well, we don't have an airstrip in Ngethe. You thought wrong. Let's walk up to Captain Robert Ngethe and he'll walk us to the Ngethe airstrip.
Welcome to Ngethe Airstrip.
Thank you. Well, let's go and find out how we can take this flight. Good to see you. Here I am with Captain Nick Ngethe, and Nick, good to meet you.
Likewise, Mike. Thank you for having me on board.
Absolutely.
And I say on board, literally on board.
On board.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are aboard flight Captain Nick Ngethe.
No, Samantha Air. It's called Samantha Air. I've named everything that we're going to do and talk about after my daughter.
Okay.
And I think that it is important that we are able to give back to our children something that my parents, well, I can only talk about myself. My parents gave to me, and they gave me everything. So I think I should give back to baby Samantha, and Samantha Air is the flight simulator that I believe that we're here to talk about.
All right, now, right here on Tech Central, of course, this is something amazing, and we're going to go and find out what it's all about. But first of all, tell me, why did you find it important to come up with this flight simulator, which technically does not actually leave the ground?
It was important because, number one, I had started off with the music school. This is how this whole thing generated itself into where we are today. I started off with the music school, but I mean, I know nothing about music. So what I had to do was get people who knew music to teach people who wanted to learn music. And what I had done was important to me because my father, my late father, he was very instrumental in educating people's children at the lower level. Is that fair to say that? You know what I mean? People who had a challenge.
School.
Yeah, who had a challenge to pay school fees. You know, back in Karura and that, and they know all about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and in my own little way, I said, man, you know what? And these kids, they love to play music and learn music, and I mean, whether they're gonna take it anywhere, that's neither here nor there. It was just important that I go to bed at night feeling, oh, I have done something of value. Then I said, well, okay, so I've done this flying Maneno for 30 years. What will it really cost to introduce, and I call it a gravity moment, to a child who has had only the opportunity to dream
of becoming a pilot.
Of becoming, or to fly, or to come anywhere close to what we're going to see. And I said, well, Nick, I think you can do it. I think you can do it. So slowly but surely, I built up the simulator, and yeah. And here we are.
Okay.
So I wish my ex-girlfriend kept telling me the same thing. I mean, we'd still be together. Well, that is the hardship of being a pilot.
I know, and I hear it's a very difficult job. You'll give us those challenges as we go along. But how possible is it for a common Mwananchi to actually become a pilot today if they wanted to?
It is very, very, very challenging. Not because people don't have the ability. It is because it is financially. Prohibitive. Very, very prohibitive. And even then, even if you have the money, it's not a question that you have the license. It's a question that the job opportunity is not there. Not because the jobs are not there, but like anything else, I guess, if you want to be a surgeon, you know, and I want to come to you and you want to open up in my heart, you got to have some history behind you. You know what I mean? You got to have some reputation. It's the same thing with aviation. So you got to have experience behind it. Now, so it's a catch-22. Getting the experience, you gotta get the job. To get the job, you gotta have the experience. So it's a catch-22.
So for you, what you've done, you've literally come up with a way of ensuring that becoming a pilot is accessible to at a very affordable cost.
Not only that. Not only that, yes, that is true, but not only that. But our software, and this is just a very basic mock-up, this is an entry level of what I teach you when you start. Okay, I can take you to the moon with a space shuttle, and we will go and show it. I will show you how. I will give you an example. 15,000 bob for 2 weeks training is what it will cost you, and I will take you to your dreams.
Now, for that 15,000 shillings, what do I learn?
Let's get this thing straight. This is not a license. Okay, this is not something you can go to the Civil Aviation Authority and
tell
say,
them
you
I'm
know what,
licensed.
yeah,
Give me an aircraft. I need to fly to
absolutely
London.
not. Yeah, this is just something to get you out of your mental box and say, you know what, that thing that I have always wanted to do. Get up and get up into the air. I've done it.
So basically for 15,000 shillings, do I learn how to fly? Can I fly an aircraft? It's not a license, but can I get that airplane to be airborne? Or what exactly do I learn?
Why don't we, let me show you.
Okay, well, I guess this is a point where we find out how this flight simulator works, and maybe by the time I come out of here, I may be your next pilot to London. I'm not sure which airline that will be on the deck. So let's go to the flight simulator. So here we are right in the middle of Muthaiga Shopping Center, and believe it or not, we're just about to get into an aircraft and technically take off. Let's do this.
You're the captain.
I'm the captain. Ooh.
Yeah.
Never been called captain.
And it's you can push. There's a little leverage
Here.
Yeah, that you can push the seat back.
There you go.
Okay, and there's you see these two pedals there. Okay, that's your right and left.
Okay.
Think of them as your steering.
Okay.
Okay, this is for the air. This is for the ground. So
Alright.
if you want to go left,
On the ground. With
this one.
Okay.
You want to go right. So you'll push them accordingly.
Okay.
This one is for the air. This one is for up, down, left, right. This is your throttle, which means your
Acceleration.
accelerator.
Okay.
Yeah. It's as simple as that, but I'll walk you through it.
All right. Let's do this.
All right. All right.
Can we take off from JKIA?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think
So
let's do
the
JKIA.
ICAO code is HK. No, let's make it challenging.
Okay.
Wilson Airport.
No problem.
So, like I had said, this is just the basic entry level airplane. Now, we can go all the way up to a space shuttle.
Wow. Right from here.
Right from here.
Okay.
But just for entry level, you know, just so that it doesn't get complicated and too fast and so on and so forth, we start with this.
Okay.
So, but you've got all your instruments in front of you, so we don't need that. So what I am going to do is get rid of that, so we have, there we go. Okay, now, I don't know if I can move in here just slightly so that we can start up, and let's put the brakes on. I have pre-done a lot of things.
Okay.
Just in the interest of time. Yeah. Brakes are on. Let's just put the flaps real quick. An airplane will have 2 spark plugs per cylinder. Your car will just have 1. True. So yeah. So basically, redundancy is you know, the safety factor of aviation is based on numerical. When I say numerical redundancy, it could be 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
It depends on how important you are.
Yeah.
You know? And we have just. Okay, I can can see
got the
it.
airport there?
Yeah, that's the airstrip. Okay, I think we can about it. Come here, students. There you go. So our speed is good. Okay, we're gonna come down. Okay, we're looking good for 07. Okay, we're a little high. We're a little high. Okay, we're gonna come down. But I think we're gonna walk away from this. I think we're gonna walk away from this. Okay, I think we're gonna walk away from this. You need to wear a little bit more on the rudder. Oh my goodness. Oh my good God. Here we go. Oh. And put your brakes on for you. And we have just made it.
That was close. All right, Nick. So, what does it take for you to come up with this simulator?
It takes a lot of. You've got to be fairly confident in what you're doing, because it's not the average run of the mill. It's,
right. But to put it together, did you have to import the parts? Do you have to bring down the plane?
No, I had to import the parts in bits by bits simply because of the financial cost. Secondly, building the whole infrastructure itself took time. So it took me about 2 years to build this. Yeah. But first we started with the music studio, with the music production, and then that kind of paid its way that I could seriously think about investing in something that I really had some fairly good idea about, which would be the aviation, which would be the simulator.
All right, now looking at the dashboard there, it looks like literally just like any other aircraft that you'd get into.
It's as close as you can get to a real airplane.
A real airplane.
Yeah.
And is this from an aeroplane that you've put together to give this look, or are they just parts that you've invented to put it together and make it, look like an aircraft?
No. There is a company that does this for flight schools around the world, and I was able to source, like I said, bit by bit, simply because it was really not, I didn't have that kind of money just to invest right away.
Okay, so what about the software? Is that something that you have to buy separately?
Absolutely. It's called X-Plane, and we've got 33,000 airports, and I can put you pretty much anywhere you want in the world, day or night, rain or shine. I can put you through the most challenging experiences that you would ever want to experience, even as a professional pilot, with this particular software.
So in short, if I wanted to fly from here to New York, I can simulate it right here, same time frame, same weather conditions, everything as close to real as possible.
Better still, the software also acknowledges your the internet input, meaning that we can get real-time weather. As a matter of fact, if I want to go to New York, I can, the software will tell me via the internet, a good internet connection, by the way, you would be able to fly there in real time,
Whatever the weather conditions are right now is what would be able to be represented here.
Yeah, and it's called X-Plane. It's called X-Plane. It's one of the. It's an amazing piece of software.
All right. Reasonably, what are the age limits for one who can come and enjoy this experience of literally feeling like you're flying?
Oh, if my young daughter of 8 can do it, the sky's the limit.
Okay. And the difference between this and possibly a video game?
Good question, and a couple of people have asked me the same. It is a very advanced video game. If you really want to categorize it like that, it is a very, very advanced video game. Simply because the graphics, this was not expensive. It was the hardware and the software. That's where the costs lie. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And maybe last question, how long does a course take? How long does any of the training take?
Oh, If I could teach you to fly in 30 minutes, what are you telling me? Captain Mike? Okay. 7 days.
7 days.
7 days and we can be up and running and...
confident enough to now see whether this is something I like or not.
And then, absolutely. And I'll be sitting on the other side, right here.
Giving instructions.
Giving you all sorts of things.
Thank you very much, Captain.
Asante sana.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been.
And I've enjoyed the flying experience.
You have?
I have indeed, and we certainly give a thumbs up for this kind of technology.
And like I had said just in the beginning, and I'm going to end, welcome on board.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, and just in case you are doubting, now I am indeed known as Captain Mike, and we did fly from Wilson Airport to, I'm not quite sure where we went, but fact is we took off and we kinda landed on some grass, but it was not a crash landing, so yeah, in 7 days, possibly I'll be able to fly you from here to New York. So next time you're on an aircraft, just find out. I just might be your captain. But now, let's just give you a few facts on the airline industry. And Otto Lindthelol was a pioneer of aviation, and this is back in 1896. He was the first person to have an aircraft or a flight that was recorded, fly several times, and he basically became known later as the glider. Okay, his name was Glider, or rather Glider King was his name, because basically he just had this dream, and that is possibly what he started off with. He probably saw a bird and thought, you know what, I could probably try and mimic what that bird does. And I'm sure at that time everybody must have thought he was crazy. But anyway, let's move on to the next slide, just giving you a bit of history of where aviation started off from. Now, the first aircraft invented and flew was done by the Wright brothers in 1903. And get this, it flew for a whooping 5 seconds. Yeah, not very long, but of course they were very ambitious, given that they were now giving us an experience of an aircraft. It moved now from a man basically trying to become a bird and fly off to an aircraft where you would sit in and literally fly. So that was in 1902. And first jet aircraft was German Heineken in 178. Rather, it was Heineken HE 178, which was in 1939. This was the first one to be built with metal on the outside, and you're able to fly in it. Then in 1952, the first jetliner was unveiled. And like they say, the rest is history. So today we have as many aircrafts as we have, and you can literally take off from here to other countries in a very short time. In 1958 to 2013, the Boeing 707, first widely successful commercial jet, they literally changed. Now, I can't call it the landscape. Let's call it the airspace of flying, because after that, now it went into commercial flying. Initially, it was just planes that you would fly from point A to B and probably 1 or 2 people. But Boeing 707 became the first to go into commercial aircraft building, and successfully so. To this day, they are one of the best, if not the best, airline industry. So there you go. Now, the Airlander 10, known in the UK as the Flying Bum. Due to its intrigued structure, the Flying Bum will make its debut, get this, as civilian flight developed by UK-based aviation company Hybrid Air Vehicles. The 302-foot-long, that's about 92 meters, helium-filled airship was originally developed for the US Army, but as a spy aircraft to hover over war zones for weeks, using only a fraction of fuel needed for the conventional aircraft. But when military found dried up, they realized that the grant and private investment allowed that the company to continue funding the project.
Yeah, no, it was the name.
No points for guessing why it's called the Air Bum. I'm sure your guess is as good as mine. And that's right where we're going to wind up Morning Express this morning. Thank you so very much for keeping us company. Do have yourselves a wonderful day, but do stay with us right here on KTN News. Coming up next is World View. Otherwise, have yourselves a fantastic day. God bless.